Hey there you lot, welcome back to Fact Blends Fish. I've had a bit going on this last week with fish breeding. We've had some strange weather in Tassie which triggers a lot of work. I've pulled a heap of babies out, there's plenty to show you. I'll go through that with you on the other side. See you soon. I'll start out today. I've just been feeding and this kind of caught my eye. This is my tank of my breeding pair of daffodil princess, and we worked in this tank a couple of months ago now, 6 or 8 weeks ago, and triggered the initial spawn of quite a number of little beasties. But I've just noticed as I've fed that we've got a secondary spawn underneath now. We've got some very cute little babies, so now I've got to put in another grading of food. But it is a incredibly productive tank now. We've got a lot of babies going on in there with that one pair of fish in a 90 odd litre tank, so very productive. I've had a big week or so on the breeding front. I haven't done a video since New Year's Day, I think it was, update wise, so I've been into a number of tanks and stripped out quite a few baby fishies, which has been pretty cool, including some important stuff. And unfortunately this egg tumbler's fallen in, so I'm going to have to get back to that in a minute. That hopefully is a batch of Lethrinops Mbasi rainbows. It's a species that I've grown out from Christmas time last year to produce, and we stripped a couple of fish, one being eggs, one being free swimmers. So if those eggs are damaged with the sand blasting, so be it, but I've hopefully got a little container around the back that'll still give me a yield. I worked yesterday with my Venustus, and what we have in there is a pretty hectic mouthful from one female. Is going to be somewhere from maybe 70 to maybe 100 eggs involved there, which is going to be great. And we got another tub I'll show you in a sec that was actually free swimmers. I'm just trying to get an eye on what my Hequi's doing underneath there. Quite feisty. Round the back here we worked with our rusties and our tetrastigmas, and we've got a mixed mouthful of each in there tumbling. Not massive production compared to some that I've had recently. What was a nice result for me was the yellowtail ACI, which is one of our bread and butter species, but we also got our first spawns for this year, just like the Lethrinops I mentioned, of some Protomelus fenestratus stevani easterns. So I've got a real good number of them tumbling in that tumbler there, and that's it's always great to breed something you haven't bred for a while. Just quickly look as we go around. This tub has our mouthful of Lethrinops Mbasi rainbows, so we hopefully have 15 or 20 in there that are free swimming to go with that egg tumbler that I started on, provided I haven't killed them all. This is our other mouthful of Venustus fry, free swimmers. That was a really solid result. We've got once again, it could be 100 in there from one big female, so that's a big yay. And we've got a mob of our ACI in there as well. Another first time spawning for me this week was down the bottom here, the whitefisher albino pindani, which I've produced before, so that's not a new one, but we've got some in that tumbler down south there. But what was the big win was our black orange dorsals, BODs. Get it out, spit it out, Glenn. The Lithobates that are pretty spectacular looking beasts, and I got 10 of these last year from my good mate Bill, and they finally hit the size where I've done some work with the colony. We ended up with 7 boys and 3 girls out of our 10, so not ideal, but we've produced our first couple of little babies. One dear little girl, he only had four fry for me. Hopefully they're still in here. But a second girl did have about 15 eggs, which we've got tumbling in there with the pindani. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to grow them all out and try and keep every last female I can find to just get a fatter colony. This is a job I'm going to do the Savo after I finish filming. We've got it's a Nakamba, Lepidolomprologus Nakamba, growing out beautifully in this tank. But what we have in here that I've got to work on is the Stenochromis horii. We've got at least 3 or 4 girls holding in here, so that's going to be the tank we try and pull down, because these have been a good couple of weeks, so we need to get them out. Next thing we worked on was the tomato hap tank. I produced a solid number of those. There's at least 100 in the blue container there. Unfortunately, I had a swing and a miss on this Deepwater Electra pair. I sometimes get caught out with some of these fish that only hold the sort of 18 to 20 days, as opposed to the Mabuna that go on a bit longer, so I missed her, unfortunately. Our weather's been a bit iffy down here in Tassie the last couple of days, not anywhere near as hot as what everyone else is getting, and because of the changes coming, the fish have been going crazy. Yesterday there was a pair of Bertoni trying to spawn down in this corner, and then literally on the other side of the glass in the next tank our male Lethrinops Gold Harbour was on the job as well. The Bertoni is just something a bit different, and there's something that I do enjoy. These are the where we started the Lethrinops Mbasi rainbows was the species that we produced primarily. So nice boy there in the middle. I didn't get anything out of the katanas this time, and still waiting on these Mbweka chismules to come along. But as you can see, everyone's looking pretty excited with the fresh water and the weird weather. Fronnies are chilling, and what I'm kind of hoping on, I doubt if I'll be able to find it, but the Nasuta capillis, there is a female somewhere that I won't say, I'm not even 50% sure, but there's a chance I might have one of those holding finally, which is fantastic. Another tank I did yesterday, electric yellows and red empress. We produced sort of near on 100 fish out of there, which was pretty cool. And back to our lovely Venustus, big boy there, that's just been fed, so he's kind of fat and happy at the minute. And didn't get any cyaneus out, which was like, they're young fish, they're super rare. They're something I'm just trying to continue to keep hanging on by a thread in Australia while I've got them, and not too many people do. So what else can I tell you? And as a result of the work I did with those couple of groups, there's some excess males now that we'll throw onto the wholesale list and hopefully get some shops involved, and some black orange dorsal males and some spare Lethrinops Mbasi rainbows. So a couple of real nice display fish to go out there. Up to me to be a better salesman. Alrighty, so that's it in a bit. Plenty going on still, and I'd like to thank the few folks that have subscribed in the last week or so. I've had a massive run on. I think I got maybe 5 subscribers this week, which is just about a PB. So thank you for that, and I appreciate you. I will see you next time.